Good afternoon, class. So this is the last thing we have to conquer before the test. So we are writing equations from word problems. This is your last I can statement, and it is I can write an equation from a word problem. Pause the video and get all of that written down. All right, so because we're going to be working on word problems today, one of the things that we have to discover or remember is kind of what these words mean. So I want you to pause the video, but I want you to think about what kind of words mean addition, what kind of words mean subtraction, what means multiplication, and what means division. And while you're doing that, I'm going to unfreeze this frame and you can jot down some of these lovely things. So in the problems we are going to be doing, we're going to be using a lot of addition and subtraction. So it's really important to know these words. So in addition, of course we have add and plus, but a lot of what you'll see for addition is this more than. Whenever you see this more than, it's really important that you remember that more is add, but then the word than means we are going to switch the order. So that's really important. We're going to move things around. The same thing is true in subtraction. We have the less than, and of course less means minus, and the than means to switch the order. We'll see an example of this in just a minute. In multiplication, one of the ones you'll see the most common is times. And divide, you will see it a few times, but it's part of or of. Now we're always going to be looking for the word is or was, because that's our equal sign. And the word and, when we get to more complicated things, the word and is where we're going to put our operation. So multiplication or subtraction or addition is going to go where that and is. It does the same job as it does in English, connects one part of the sentence to another part of the sentence. Okay? So when we get a story problem, a lot of our brains turn off. And I don't mean that meanly. Mine does it too. It kind of goes, this is hard. So what we're going to do is we're going to break story problems into a more manageable situation by using these 5 steps. And we're going to use the acronym of CUBES. Remember, we learned it last year, and I also have the poster of it up in my room to kind of remind us how to manage this situation. So first and foremost, always just read the problem. Read the problem carefully and figure out what it's asking you to find. Step 2. Do the cubes. You're going to circle the numbers, underline the question, box the math words, and evaluate the problem, and then you're going to solve. Now, since you guys are 8th graders, we are adding all of step 3, 4, and 5. We didn't do these last year because you weren't 8th graders. So 8th grade, you have to learn to write the introduction. The introduction is this sentence right here. Let blank be blank. And this will make more sense in just a second, so please just write it down. The body is the E in the cubes where you're evaluating, you're showing your math work, okay? And then the conclusion, or the S in cubes, you're solving for it. Now, these words, introduction, body, and conclusion should look familiar. You're using them in science class. You're using them in ELA class. You will also be using them in math class. We have our introduction, our body, and our conclusion. Okay? So let's try one of these problems. So we're going to go and read this first. It says 5 more than twice a number is negative 13. Find the number. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and I'm circling my numbers. And if they're spelled out, I'm also going to write them over the top. Just so I know those numbers. Okay, now I've circled my numbers. I underline what it's asking me to do. It says find the number. B, box my math words. More than. And the nice thing about twice is also a boxed word. And is our lovely equal sign. More than, plus, and a switch. Okay. Now that I've gone through it all, I'm going to do my introduction. My introduction is let x be a number. Now that I know what x is, I'm going to come in and every time I see the word a number, I'm putting x above it. So now, if you noticed, my underline said find the number. Let x be the number. Those should match up. Whatever I have underlined is going to tell me what my intro is going to be. Awesome. Let's do our E, evaluating. So I'm looking at my sentence and I can see up here that I actually have what looks like a really great math sentence. It says 5 plus switch 2x equals negative 13. But I need to handle the switch right now because it says 5 plus then switch. So I need to switch, and I'm going to start with that 2x first. So I'm going to go 2x, then I have my plus 5 equals negative 13. Okay, now you solve this portion just like you do anything else. Pause the video, solve for x. Okay, you can see all of my work, all of my steps to finding out that x is 9. Okay, so we did all of E. Now we've done part of our S, but we have to write our conclusion. So again, I look at my intro, and the words on my intro say a number. And so I'm going to write a number is negative 9. And that is how you manage a story problem, okay? Pause the video, make sure you have all of these markings on your paper. Now, I'm going to show you more real life situation. This is number 4 on your study guide. So number 4 says, again, I'm going to step 1, read it. 30 copies of a textbook weigh a total of 75 pounds. What is the weight of each book? Okay, so I'm going to have you pause it, and I want you to circle your math numbers. All right, here you can see I have circled 30, and I've written the number above it, 30, and I circled 75. Okay, now underline what it's asking you. Go. The question is, what is the weight of each book? Awesome. B, box any math words. Of, total of is actually what I'm going to box, and that is my equal sign in this situation. Okay, now I need to pause, and I need to do my introduction. So think about your introduction. Remember, it always starts with let something be something else. So pause. What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at what is the weight of each book. So I'm going to let B be the weight of one book. Notice I just got that from the underline part. All right, so now anytime I see book or textbook or weight, and I see those words right here next to each other, that is 1B. So I'm going to write a B above it. Okay. Now, E in my cubes and my body is I write my equation. Oh, I missed a math word. My math word I missed is of, so that's my multiplication. So 30 times B equals 75. Pause the video. Solve for B. Here we have B equaling 2.5. Well, that doesn't look like a point, so we'll make it a nice big green one. 2.5. Now, in our conclusion, we write the weight of one book is 2.5 pounds. Again, I get this a label from the unit right behind 75, okay? Again, we'll be practicing this in class, so don't worry if this is still a struggle for you. You'll be getting this in class. All right, see you guys. Bye.